Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. I have been solving math problem for GMAT out of this book here, the GMAT Review, the official guide. If you're preparing for GMAT, this is the book that you want to own. This is a book that you must have. You will find it at mba.com. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 169, problem solving, number 129. Let's see what it says. Have the book in front of you so you can follow me. It says, on a recent trip, Cindy drove her car 290 miles, rounded to the nearest 10 miles, and she used 12 gallons, rounded to the nearest gallon. The question simply is, the actual number of miles per gallon that Cindy got on this trip must have been between what range? Looking for a range because we don't know what it is. She may have consumed 11.9 gallon, which she rounded it up to 12 gallon, or she may have consumed 11.4 gallon and rather 12.4 gallon, and she rounded it to 12 gallon, or she may have driven 294 miles, which she rounded down to 290, or she may have driven 286 miles and she rounded it up to 290. Who knows? So we have to find the range. So let's take a look at it. It's very simple. It's very straightforward, as a matter of fact. Here's the worst case scenario. And here's the best case scenario. The best case scenario is that since we are told that she drove 290 miles, so the best case scenario is that she may have driven 295 miles, which she rounded down to 290. That's the best case scenario. Or she may have driven 285 miles. The best case scenario I call it because that's the most miles she's getting for a given amount of gas that she burned. Here's the worst case scenario. She may have driven only 285 miles and she has rounded it down to 280, or rounded it up to 290. It doesn't matter whether she's rounding up or rounding down, since we are right at the borderline here, 295, and one might sit there and wonder, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to round up or round down? They don't tell me in this problem. They don't tell you in this problem, and that's the whole point. They want you to realize that it doesn't matter whether you round up or round down, because whatever you do to the mileage, you're going to do the same thing with the gasoline. So if the rule that you're going to follow is that if it's 295, I'm going to round it up to, I'm going to round it down to 290, then the same rule apply for the gasoline. If it's 11.5, well, let's say this is higher, so if it's 12.5, you're going to round it down to 12. On the other hand, if you use the rule where if it's 295, I'm going to round it up to 300, you're going to do the same thing with the gasoline, so they negate each other. That's why it doesn't matter. Anyway, so the best case scenario is that she got the most mileage, which she rounded to 290, for the least amount of gallons. Since we are told that she burned 12 gallons, rounded to the nearest gallon, she may have burned only 11.5 gallons. This is where she's getting the most bang for her bucks, if you wish to call it that. Here she's going to get the least bang for her buck, which is instead of 11.5, she may have consumed 12.5 gallons, and she got 285. As I said before, it doesn't matter whether you round it. If 285, if that's the number of miles that she got, and if this is the amount 285, if she's rounding it down, then this has to be rounded down as well, and they negate each other. If she rounds up, it applies to both of them. But this is the range. Well, there you go. It's right there actually. Answer is D. Oh, I can't believe it. We're done. That's all. That's all it is. This is the worst case scenario, which is where she's burning the most gas and getting the least amount of miles. Here's the best case scenario where she's getting the most mileage. She drove 295, which she rounded down to 290, and she burned the least amount of gas, only 11.5 gallons, which she's rounding up to 12 gallons. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to buy my DVDs, go to my website, or if you wish to hire my service for personal private tutoring, again, go to my website, prep4gmat.com, send me an email, and we'll talk. I hope this was helpful. There's nothing I can do there. There's no point going through every one of the answer choices, because this is the only one that makes sense. That's all it is. That's all it is. I hope it makes sense to you. This is the most mileage for the least amount of gasoline. Hence, the best case scenario. Here is the least mileage for the most amount of gasoline. Maybe she burned 12.5 gallons, which she rounded down to 12 gallons, and she only got 285 miles, which is around. In reality, she got only 285 miles, and she's burning her 12.5 gallons. But that's about it. Thank you.